Section 2. Jessica, are you presenting kind of stuff? Okay.
I brought one too. I thought his name was. That doesn't mean anything. You're like, you know, I figured I'd be prepared. Good for you. I love it.
She wants to see this. Hey, there's Christian. Or you. I didn't.
Chris is here.
Oh, Chris is here.
Yeah, I thought doing a lot of like. And Nathan's here. Here.
Chris is here.
So is she gonna leave that pot out there on Point Park?
I would keep people from driving through there, you put snow stakes in, then you run them over.
As long as it's not many right away.
Well, it's,
I know Blue Point Park Drive, there is no road.
no, I know, but.
It's sad.
Check it out tomorrow.
I've already seen it, I know where it's from. I pointed out the road.
Yeah, she's got that problem there.
Good with it?
It was.
One of those.
He usually goes like this one.
It will stop. Look, that one, but it's somebody.
It's about 3 foot tall.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those firms.
That's pretty small.
I don't know if it's a real one or if it's one of the big ones that somebody hits it in the fall, which would be fine, but if it's one of those.
That has been a horrible problem here lately. Or the last year or so, people driving through their yard.
Oh, it's across. Yeah,
It's on the back of the side.
yeah, the back lot side where there's, it's just wooded.
General fund.
Sure, okay.
I mean, with no road right away there, they could technically put a post in.
Yeah, but.
Well,
Safety is.
be careful how technically you get there.
Yeah.
We're not.
And if our audience, make sure you all signed in, please. There's no sheet. Oh, Nathan, there's no sheet. Well, that makes it a little difficult. There will be, when the sheet gets here, we just sign in or pass it around. It's just. I know, but I have my note and I compare those to Nathan's and.
It has a mind of its own sometimes. There's nothing I can do about it. Sir? Want to hear your pretty voice. I'm just too. Well, it's for the people on Zoom.
Is there anybody on Zoom?
No,
I know, I was looking too,
Just
and
me.
it's like. I have some.
At least it's our. We usually have an average. Bottle and that's, it says Kyle, and I don't know.
Rumsey,
That was my guess.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, because he was. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, but those are the two that we usually. The Friday.
yeah.
Well, I think we got a lot of rain coming up this weekend. From Saturday to Tuesday. So. We're gonna take kids to the zoo, I guess.
Hey, there's-
Yeah, I know. I got you right down there.
Hey, Molly,
George, you not want to say anything?
What?
Which is the young seats on it. Well, I didn't want to take your seat. Like, was that on the other box? What's that side? You may not, I can help you. This is the other.
Oh, yeah. Definitely title. So we need a motion and a second, and you have on that. You do not need to read the whole thing. Resolutions now are title. Title and number. So we'll need motion second and then vote. And it's 7:00, so we will call our meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and if, Robert, if you want to do the city instructions, and if we could also remind all the attendees to please sign the sign-in sheet.
That is one too. Good evening, for those, well, I don't have anyone on Zoom, but for the public that's here. We do have speakers in the ceiling, so you can stand or go out there if you end up speaking, but also talking can be picked up, but that make it hard for people to listen. Members, just make sure you speak into your microphone so people can understand you on Zoom, also so we can understand you when we go back and look at it. That's it.
Great, thanks, Robert. We'll do introductions, and how about we start with Guy?
Guy Rogers, Street Utility Superintendent.
Nathan Striker, Clerk Treasurer, 783 South Clear Lake Drive. George Schenkel, Ward 1, Council Member, 144 West Clear Lake Drive.
Dan Rippey, 126 Lakeside Court, Ward 2, council member.
Molly Weber, 822 South Clear Lake Drive, council member at large.
Bert Elliott, 1058 South Clear Lake Drive, Council Member, Ward 3.
Brent Slusser, 95 Penner Drive, council at large. For summer, town marshal.
Robert Hollins, zoning administrator.
Great, thanks, everybody. Now we've got the agenda is up in front and we've all seen it. Can I have a motion to move forward with tonight's agenda?
I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Thank you, George.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Dan. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, hearing none, motion carries. We'll move forward with the agenda. So monthly reports, we'll first start with the minutes from last month's meeting. Any questions, corrections, or a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Thank you, Dan.
George, I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to accept the minutes as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. We'll move forward now, Nathan, with the April and May voucher and voucher register and warrant.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. This voucher runs from April 18, 2024 through May 20th, 2024. On the general side, there is a total of $75,742.29 that I'm asking for approval. On the sewer side, the total is $33,809.66. For the attorneys, the total attorney bill for this month is $23,109.03. And I did have a question for the council about Barnes and Thornburg, which is a bill from an attorney that has been handling a lot of our injunction appeals for the Hoagland case. Normally the bills are between $1,000 and $2,000. This month, the bill was $12,000, as you see on here. I called him for the last 2 weeks to try to get an explanation because the breakdown on the invoice was not very clear. He finally gave me a call back today and let me know that he charges $710 an hour. So I think that we need to take a look at that one. I have not paid him for this, but he says MP. But I wanted to bring that to the council's attention because that is something that really caught my attention. But other than that, the total for all the funds that I'm asking for approval is $132,660.98. And I did make a couple of changes to the voucher that Dan sent over to me today. It's just on voucher number. There was 20173 for Brody's shoes. We changed that from operating supplies to shop supplies. And voucher number 20174 for the Steuben County Recorder, we changed that from legal to other charges. That's what I have for the voucher for this month.
Thank you, Nathan.
I would make a motion to approve the voucher line items as drafted for payment, including Barnes and Thornburg.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
George, I'll second the motion.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, hearing none, the motion carries. We'll move forward now with new business, and it's ERI and the GIS funding, and I think Dan is going to kick that off.
Yes, thank you. So the GIS was funded last year to complete the development of that system that we purchased roughly 2 years ago. We used $23,000 roughly from the American Rescue Plan. So in our efforts to the original plan was to utilize the original manufacturer of that software to help us with the development of our system. We have 3 main focus areas: sewers, streets, and zoning that we would like to develop. Given that sewers is the largest of those 3, and ERI's experience with our sewer system, both from the original design and any updates that we've put in place over the last 5 to 7 years. On top of ERI is considered a master user of this system. We reached out to ERI for a quote to help us basically help work with Robert and Guy to develop the system and provide the leadership there. They have submitted an estimate for us. And again, I mentioned that it is fully funded at $23,000. Their estimate came in at not to exceed $20,000. Are there any questions?
Anything else?
The period of performance is May to August for this work. And I would like to make a motion then to approve the switch and award ERI the activity to help us develop the system.
We have a motion. Do we?
This is Bert, I'll second that.
Thank you, Bert. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay. The next topic under new business is the American Legal Codification Funding, and I believe, Nathan, you are going to
Sure.
present this.
Yeah, this is the project that we've been working on since last November. Jen led the way, so she did a great job. We got everything sent over to them last month. They were able to review everything, and their estimate has come in a range of 19,000 or 1,900, 1,700, which is considerably lower than what we were all afraid of. That also includes $195 to put in to their folio. So the total cost of this project should not exceed $3,000, and we are planning on using professional services general to fund this. So this is a big project. Jen did a really good job. So this stuff is very important. And it's waiting in the wings for about 7 years, so we're good to go. We're ready to, as long as I get the okay from you guys, we'll move forward with ASAP.
Thank you, Nathan. And we have any questions for Nathan? Yes. Is there a motion to move forward with this, not to exceed the 3,000 as Nathan?
This is Brent. I'll make the motion to move forward, not to exceed 3,000.
Thank you. We have a motion. Can I have a second?
George, I'll second the motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Nathan, and let Jen know we appreciate all her work on this. I know it was very comprehensive. The next agenda item is the notice of award for the Hazenhurst condo project.
So for those who don't know, I'm Jessica Hiles, there's Human Resources, we're the guide to how this goes. Fit out project with the Hazenhurst condominium lift station there, that's a.
Could you put it on the microphone for me, please? So that way we can hear, but also the audience can as well. And if Robert or Nathan, just go back and listen to the taping. Thank you.
So this is Jessica Hiles and Human Resources, here to just touch on the Hazenhurst lift station condo grinder station rehab project that we just put out on May 7th. This project was to rehabilitate the existing one that's already there, that's difficult to get into, that needs its pumps replaced, needs easier accessibility to those pumps. So, if there's any questions about scope of work, we can cover that too. But so we received one bid out of the three companies that were solicited. Parrish Excavating was the contractor who provided the price at $82,206 for the lump sum price. They have an alternate, or we had an alternate for a deduct or adder to do a different type of lighting system for the fiberglass. We decided to do the monoform, essentially create a concrete structure inside the existing fiberglass that'll be stronger and last longer, and it ended up being a deduct of $9,520. So their alternate one with base bid was a total of $72,686. So $97,000 was approved at the prior council meeting on August 15th of last year. So awarding, our recommendation is to award to Parrish Excavating with alternate one for a total of $72,686.
Do you have any questions for Jessica? From council? No.
Hearing no questions, thank you, Jessica. I would like to make a motion to provide a notice of award to Parrish Excavating for a contract value of $72,686.
We have a motion on the table. Do we have a second?
This is Brent. I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Brent. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
And then I would like to make a motion naming myself as authority to sign the contract. When we get it received back from Parrish, as well as the required insurance and liability.
We have a motion. Go
This is
ahead.
Brent. I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Brent. We have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Dan and Jessica, for your work on this. Now we'll move to unfinished business. I think our first item there is Lexipol funding resolution 04-2024, and I believe Brent's gonna.
Yes, so Lexipol was discussed last meeting and a resolution is required to apply additional funds to move forward and utilize the service. The return on investment to the town was discussed as a positive last month, as well as the ability to reduce the administrative duties of our police department, which allows them to patrol our areas more. So I would like to make a motion to approve resolution 04-2024. The town of Clear Lake resolution number 04-2024 additional appropriation resolution.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I have an alternate motion for questions about the resolution. So,
I withdraw my motion.
so the question is, first of all, the amount of funds that are being requested falls short of the total between implementation and the balance of the year's execution. Is that deliberate or did we modify that? In the quote, you'll see 13,928.95 is for the implementation, but then as a separate item is the annual, the remaining June through December annual fee of $1,068.90.
Yeah, as I was reading through that, I thought that that was included in the first year, but I could be wrong, obviously.
Well, if we just go back to the quote.
Yeah,
I think it's-
Robert, could you pull the quote up so Chris can look at that too? Thank you very much. So Chris, could you confirm that it is
Yes,
the
there's $1,068.
plus the 13?
Plus the 13.
I would make a motion.
Just hang on one second.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think we're in agreement that we need up that price. Okay. The second question that I have is you're listing the Department of Local Government Finance as a person that has approval rights for this resolution. Is that deliberate? That's not typical in our resolutions. Just curious.
Yeah, so Dave wrote this for me, so I don't know if this is my first one I've done. An additional appropriation resolution, so I had Dave draw this up. So if this is.
The day thought.
Yeah.
Do this stuff.
And I did talk to the Department of Local Government Finance. And it looks like we are gonna have to have another public meeting for public comment on this funding request. So I was gonna bring that up. So all we have to do is put in a special meeting so that the public can come and comment. Now, I talked to George Hall today and I asked if our town council meetings would serve as those public meetings. And he said no. We have to have a separate special meeting for the public to comment on this additional appropriation. So I was going to talk to the council tonight in my next section. That before the next council meeting, I would suggest that we do a half an hour public meeting, so public comment, so they can talk about it. And then, as Dan suggested, his email to me the other day, that we might want to look at doing some additional appropriations for a couple different line items. It's specifically the pro services on the general side, because we're going to spend quite a bit of those funds on these different projects that we have going on. So that's something that I'm going to want to take a look at with Dan and George before that next.
Well, Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to move this agenda to next.
We have a motion. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to move this to next month's meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
And at that time, we'll determine if the public hearing is necessary and if so, schedule
Yeah,
prior to the meeting.
I'll have a schedule. I'm trying to do it.
Well, yeah,
Well,
Nathan and Brent will take this as an action after tonight, please. Thank you very much. The next item under unfinished business is police staffing, and I believe Brent is going to kick this off.
As discussed last month, we have 2 open deputy marshal positions. Since that time, we've received 3 qualified candidate applications. We have conducted interviews with 2 of the candidates yesterday. One was not available, but is scheduled and confirmed for the 29th. We also reached out to the local law enforcement areas to let them know we were still hiring, to see if we could get any other qualified candidates. Would like to give an opportunity to open up to the general public in case anyone would have any questions. So I make a motion to move to the general public.
We have a motion. Do we have a second for public comment?
George, I'll second the motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, hearing none. Anybody from the public have any questions or comments on our police staff?
Hearing none,
Oh, Kathy does.
Well, I guess I would like to know, are you gonna do one or two? And since there were two positions that were vacated.
there's the option to do one or the other, and that's part of what we're discussing tonight.
Do you have anything that you want to share? No. Anybody else from the public? Hearing none, could I have a motion to close public comment?
George, I move that we close public comment.
This is Brent, I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Public comments over.
Would there be any general discussion amongst council?
I don't.
Hearing none, I would like to make a motion to offer one of the open deputy marshal positions to Jordan Trippy at a rate of $25 per hour, leaving the second position open until we have a chance to interview the third candidate and any additional candidates that would come in.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
George, I second the motion.
We have a motion to hire Jordan Turpy at $25 an hour, start date as deemed.
Acceptance.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And if George and Brent and Chris could work on getting all his paperwork done and letting him know, the three of you could move forward with that. Thank you very much. And I want to thank George, Brent, and Chris for all of their work, and council for all the time we took last night to interview and review resumes. I know it went a little longer than anticipated, but it was very thorough, and I think we all learned a lot. We'll now move forward with the Zachary Rumsey Grinder Resolution 05-2024. And Dan, are you going to kick that off, or is Robert? Robert's going to.
So as you guys are probably remember, last month you guys approved on condition of approval of a shared grinder between St. George's and Rumsey, which is gonna require that they have to move the grinder from the lake side or between their houses up to the road within 30 feet, as required by the ordinance. So before you guys, you have Clear Lake Resolution number 05-2024, authorization of execution of release of wastewater utility easement.
So, any questions for Robert?
Who's bearing the cost of this?
Rumsey is paying for it.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Robert? All right, can we move forward with a motion to accept resolution 05-2024?
I would like to make a motion to accept Clear Lake Resolution 05-2024, authorization for execution of release of wastewater utility easement as written.
Thank you, Dan. Can I have a second?
Bird, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to move forward with resolution 05-2024, authorization for execution of release of wastewater utility easement. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Robert, if you could please reach out to the Zachary Rumsey and let them know that was approved tonight. Thank you.
You'll just decide.
Yes.
Yes, I have it here.
He's got it. All right, thank you, Dan. We'll now move forward with monthly reports. Nathan, you are up.
Yeah, so I have our financial reports on file, revenue, fund and appropriation reports are on file. A couple of things that are going on with me this upcoming month, I have a audit with Birth. So that's Indiana Sleep Retirement System. They're coming in on June 6th to do an audit of those records. We just got our annual insurance packet renewal in the mail today, and there is I think it's an $882 savings over this year compared to last year, which was nice. And I think some of that cost comes from the sale of the Tahoe, because I did get a refund of $273 from the insurance company for the Tahoe when we sold that. So that was good. I do have a budget seminar coming up in June, middle part of June. And then the last thing that I have put together is in preparation for the audit coming up, and I have talked to Keystone about doing some individual training for Jen, some individual training for myself, and some training for the two of us in combination. So Keystone has set up some training for us, and I'm asking for the council for approval to get that training going for no less than $1,000. But that's what I've got going on this month. It's gonna be a busy month.
No more.
Or no more.
No more.
No more than 1,000.
No, like I said, no louder.
He said no less.
Yeah.
No more.
Any questions for Nathan?
The Keystone is type of training is.
That's our accounting software. So we've been. Dan and I have been talking, and George, about doing some updating as far as how we do the trash transfers and a couple of the different processes that we do. And after talking to Keystone the last couple of months, they think there's some processes that we can improve. And I'm all ears when it comes to making things simpler and more easy. So I think that will also help me get prepared for the audit, and that will be greatly appreciated as well.
And what's the timing of this? And is it virtual or live?
There's two different options. I can do it over the computer with them, or I can do it in person. It just kind of depends on the schedule of the person when they're available. So once I get approval, I'll get more of a, schedule from Keystone. So I'm hoping to get this accomplished before June 6th. So
I've worked a little with Nathan on this, and some of the transfers are just unusual. It seems extra complex. I don't know enough about it to say, let's do this, but I think Keystone has indicated they can. I'm just looking how we're moving monies in the transfer accounts. So
And this
it
is-
may streamline this in the long run, or it may just clear it up in our heads.
And this is something you mentioned last month, right? Dan?
Yeah, is there any way I can get in front of Keystone? Talk to them about my thoughts on how we can simplify things.
yeah, sure.
So,
I'll let the council know when I'm gonna have this.
and let us know if it's face to face or online. So we have an ask from Nathan.
Mr. President, this is Brent. I make a motion to proceed at a value not to exceed $1,000. Because as a council, we have discussed previously that we need to provide all the resources that we can to the clerk treasurer's office to make sure that we're doing right by the town.
We have a motion. Could I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Bless you, God. Thank you, Dan. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
Quick question on insurance, patient.
Yeah.
Nathan, do you know, if they offer any additional discount for paying the annual?
Flexible.
No, insurance.
Insurance. Just, what do you
Did you pay the annual
I'll ask them.
in full as opposed to forms?
I can ask, it's set up to pay for this. Right.
Yeah, if you could check on that and follow up and just email council on what that savings.
And I did ask them about the Lexipol to see if we could get any kind of discount with our insurance because we have the Lexipol and there's a discount. I thought that's pretty good.
Right, I was taking notes. Now we have the marshal's report, Chris.
For the month of April, we worked 107 hours for 372 miles and 0 monthly aquatic hours. They already. Areas of concern, the Clear Lake Police Department investigated 3 cases within the town, the sheriff's office investigated 5 within the town, and 8 within the township. Police Department issued 2 traffic violations, 3 vehicle inspections, and 3 golf cart inspections. For the police department, there was 1 agency assist, 1 structure fire residential, which is actually outside of the town, but we assisted for not fire with that, and then a property damage. Sheriff's office had 1 welfare check, 1 property damage, 1 domestic, and 2 mental problems within the town. Township, there was 1 alarm, 2 structure fires, 2 domestics, 1 trespassing, 1 mental problem, and 1 drug or narcotics investigation. With the passing or the hiring of Jordan Tripp, and now I'm gonna ask for, depending on uniforms, what he needs, what we can outfit him with from the other 2 officers that were left. I want to ask for $2,500 to up to $2,500, not to exceed $2,500 for uniforms for Jordan. I don't anticipate it going that high, especially if one's the best fit him. I know one of them will not, the other one, I'm trying to, I don't know if it does fit him, that would easily take $1,000 off that. $500. They'll actually have to try it on it.
You know, you have the budget.
Yes, there's a budget for it, and I don't know if I've spent anything out of the budget for uniforms this year.
Yeah, we have to spend, I don't have to use that.
So we have an ask from Chris about the exceed 2,500 to outfit our new.
This is Brent, Mr. President, Mrs. President. I would like to make a motion for Chris to proceed with new equipment for the new deputy marshal and an amount not to exceed $2,500.
We have a motion. Could I have a second, please?
Bert, I'll second that.
Thank you, Bert. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, hearing none, motion carries.
So I have no second.
Thanks, Chris. Fire department, Brent, you're up again.
Hang on, I got notes.
I know, I understand that.
Okay, for the month of April, the fire department had a region total of 16, including 6 mutual aids and 8 total for the town of Clear Lake. There was an increase in compared to March, and that was mainly due to 2 additional mutual aids and the increased activity in Clear Lake Township.
Thank you. Any questions for Brent on the fire report? No, thank you. And now, Robert, we'll move to you on the zoning administrator's report.
All right, so I've had 3 IFPs for the month of April, 20 for the year for the month of April. You'll see there some additional, just for forward. Side of what's going on next month, and 1 ILP not needed. Letter. We had a planning commission meeting, they got canceled due to inclement weather. We are waiting. I'm waiting to hear back from Jen. I have a response from other members, so waiting for them to make a decision on the date. That'll be posted probably within the week, I would say. Next BCA is next month on the 11th. Other than that, I did finish my floodplain administrator training. Got all 3 certificates for that, so I'm all done. And the only other thing to note right now, that I'm trying to look into the future in October. The APA conference is in Indiana this year, and it's so close, it's in Fort Wayne instead of Indianapolis, which is really nice. APA The way Indiana works it out is it's actually Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. So it can be one of those three states typically. But I'm waiting for a class list and I'm waiting for the cost to determine, but since it's so close, I might not have to do overnight lodging. So, that'll kind of make it a little easier.
Right, and if you could also on that, I think that's great that it's on there, but as you look at that, work with the plan commission, executive committee, to just, you know, because they may want to go, if it's something that's open to plan commission members.
Yeah, but as soon as I have like a class, because they talk so much, they might drop something that I may not be interested in or something, so I'm really waiting to see what that itinerary is for the event, but yeah, I'll definitely reach out to them too. The only other thing is construction work's picking up, of course, and trying to wrap down in the same time, so me and Guy are out almost every day looking at stuff, making sure everyone's getting compliant, so that's it.
I just want to say thank you, because I know I have been one of them that has called about some of our contractors and the mess in the roads. I know sometimes they don't think about it, but I worry about a kid on a scooter or on a bike without a helmet and what could happen. And so I appreciate, you could tell when you make a few calls, because all of a sudden it's nice and cleaned up. So thank you for your work on that. Anything else for Robert? Anybody? No, all right, Guy, you're up.
I worked a total of 180 hours last month. Brody worked a total of 176. I had 0 road cut permits, 0 demo permits, and 3 letters of non-objection. We had 30 locates, 0 alarm calls. So we replaced no grinders last month. We didn't repair any or set any up. We still have 32 pumps on hand, 14 are boxed. 7 new that are set up and 11 remanufactured or repaired ones on hand. Average daily flow was 25,829. We put 283 miles on the sewer truck last month and 466 on the dump truck. And 1.5 loads of leaves this spring.
And we're gonna be tearing up landscaping.
Yes.
We're tearing up the front. Just everybody.
So if somebody drives by and sees the front of the building
Improving.
uprooted, that is what we're up to. So
To get the trees off the
Foundation
building, and some of the
and,
roots are going down into, yeah, I'll let you explain it.
we've noticed that the tree roots have been heaving all of our drainage out. And so the easiest way to take care of that is pull it out, relay the drainage and redo the landscape off. So
I would also like to add that Guy and Brody have been doing a really good job getting around the lake and trimming. Get this place cleaned up for Memorial Day. We had a little employee meeting last week and ever since Brody's been out there, Guy's been out there, and everything's coming along good. So I want to say thank you for making that effort. Yeah, because it's not fun doing that work. It's not nice. It's not outside.
Absolutely agree. Any other questions for Guy? All right, we will now move to council member reports. Does anybody have anything? Brent, yes.
Yes. Wanted to get everybody an update on Midsalt. We spoke, Nate and I both have spoke with John and tried to get it scheduled. Unfortunately, due to pre-existing appointments and schedules, we couldn't get it all timed up to get everybody together. So John is more than willing to come out and meet with us and our on-site, excuse me. We just got to get the date knocked down or it can match up on schedule.
And Bert, I have not forgotten about your email. That you need to get your email hooked up to your.
Yeah, and we can take that offline, but yeah, it can be another one. Yeah, be great.
Thanks, Brent. Bert, anything?
Yeah, just a quick update on NIPSCO, one of our favorite subjects. Just a status update right now. They have been pretty responsive since the last time we talked. They gave the cable operators until the end of April to move the cables. As all of you know, no cables have been moved. So they came out at the end of that month and did an inspection and have since hired their own contractor who will begin moving cables after June 12th. So that's kind of where we stand. Of course, until something actually happens, we're a long way from declaring victory, but they are responsive and following up, and so far, so good. They're following along on the track. So we'll keep you posted on that as this continues.
So there's your duplicate poll update. We're working on it. How do you like that? Kind of like the checks in the mail, but you know, we're working on it. We're trying, Bob.
I know.
Let's see, Dan.
Just a couple of updates. One is, we've gone to publication on the informational brochure for this year's road project on Lakeview Drive. I believe, and I want to thank Jen and some of the other office staff that helped pull that together. We did get a quote, but we just ended up bringing them inside and doing our own full. So that I appreciate that. Those are being placed in the directory, Clear Lake directory, so everybody will have one. The road committee still has to get back together and decide whether they'll do a special presentation of those brochures to the more localized affected part of our community closer to the time of construction. So more on that. The other thing I'd like to make note of is that we put a lot of energy into developing this road policy. Those who have been with us along the way know that it's chock full of design requirements. Those were really put to the test this last month with a number of large dump trucks traveling over that short section of West Clear Lake Drive just off of Lakeview. And there was some concern raised by residents on that road that there may have been damage done to the new road. Happy to report, Guy went out along with Todd, did their inspection, and there was no damage noted. It was more of a visual that the residents were reacting to. So we put a lot of energy into those requirements. It stood the test of all that heavy traffic. So we're very proud to be able to offer that value to the town. The unfortunate part of that is we did note that the road leading up to the bridge between Clear and Round suffered some additional cracking. I think it already had cracks developing due to some annual heaving of the water soaked area leading up to that bridge, but the large trucks reversed over that, made it a little bit worse. So we've got an action, Guy and Todd and I and Bert, to discuss about some near-term mitigation activities that we could take. We could be posting weight limit signs. We don't think that there's any safety issue with normal vehicular traffic. It's more the large heavy vehicles traveling over that. To gap filling, so we may be talking to council about some money to appropriate towards doing some gap filling to keep the water penetration down. So
I'd like to double check with Chris. Do you foresee any issues that we would need to put weight restrictions? I know.
It's only gonna depend on construction probably, because that's what this is called, it's from construction of that house. So they call that could happen anywhere around the lake. So if you put weight restrictions on any of the roads, that may fall back onto some of the contractors and how they're going to build a house or bring in material, landscaping or cement, things of that nature. So just have to keep that in mind.
yeah, so there's alternate route that you don't have to take that little short section. Could run, off Lakeview through around the area, but More to come.
George.
Yes, I just wanted to follow up on what Nathan mentioned regarding we had an employee meeting, I believe it was last week, and just wanted to highlight the topics that we reviewed with the employees. Specifically, we talked about the employee handbook, we had one change to it and one correction. We reviewed the purchase order policy, which I'd like to report the employees have already been implementing it before the policy was actually formally presented, which was a real good initiative. We also talked about the town council, plan commission, BZA meetings that have employees that present information to us, to have it to us in a timely manner, which would shortcut questions and rather than tying up the meetings with questions, let's get it done telephonically before. And then lastly, we're still wrestling with health insurance and we can't discuss it if we don't know what it is. So we may have to do another survey just to get the information out so that we have knowledge to further discuss and find out is there health insurance available for the town's employees' needs. That's pretty much it. And just point of order, Chris and Brent.
Just real quick, before we all take off tonight, if we could just talk about process with Jordan. You know, so just the three of us, so, okay, thanks.
Thank you. All right, I think we are now to general discussion. Any general comments, questions from council? Our audience.
I have some.
Okay, I was like, really? Okay, I was gonna say, Kathy and Bob, really? Okay, Kathy.
First of all, I did notice that the parkways and the berms were all cleaned up and they looked really nice. And there might be two new muskrat holes. You know where the white pipes are at by Lucas's, it's between that and then there's a green, I don't know what it is, electrical something on the other side. There's two holes there. They look like the beginning of it. So
We filled in a lot of, well, further down west, we filled in some really bad spots here.
I know.
These aren't
here. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just so you know, you can go check it out. If maybe that's not even what it is. And the third question I have is, are you still going to reseed some of the places?
Yes, we actually just got grass seed this week, so that, and it's been so wet that you can't move mud around and try to make it level. We tried and it didn't work.
That's all.
Thank you, Kathy. Bob?
Yeah, just a personal observation, the marina ramp, boat ramp is closed to the public. So the only option people have for launching their boats is the public ramp. And the marina is no longer hauling boats for residents. So my phone started ringing. So I have some personal experience this week in trying to run through the just the barrage of landscaping trucks. It's like running a gauntlet. And so I stopped and I asked them if they would move. And they said, well, you can go off the side of the road. And I said, I'm not going to go into people's personal property with a boat trailer. So it was a standoff between me and them, and they finally did move their trailer, but there was plenty of room for them to get off the road. It's just more convenient for them not to. And I'm just concerned about residents the boats are getting bigger and residents trying to haul their own. They're inexperienced. I just think we're opening up ourselves for some risk.
Thank you very much, Bob. I know Guy and Robert, you should have been here the day the semi was out here. That was.
Which one?
Yeah, well, I'm referring to the one that, but thank you. And when you see that, it's fine to call Robert and let him know which contractor and which residency, which number, so he knows, because so many of these contractors are working multiple sites. So just let Robert know who the contractor is and the house where it's happening or close by. And Robert has been very diligent about reaching out, at least to the ones when I let him know.
Well, when Guy and I are driving around, we're constantly talking to people saying you gotta move off of the road, or you need to make sure that you're leaving enough space for people to go around, not into somebody's yard. On the road.
About 2 weeks ago, I had some that played dumb with me and told me they didn't speak English. So I basically just called the company, the office, and I said, hey, you guys' trucks are in the way. I let it slide a couple days this week. We're going on week number 2. This cannot happen anymore. There's plenty of driveways, we choose them. So.
The good thing is we have a lot of. I think we have good repertoire with a lot of the owners, the companies and stuff like
Yes.
that, and they're trying to make sure that. They're being respectful of the community, so they'll get on their work crews. If we can't get the work crews to do it, we do. That is beneficial, so.
But the one I spoke to understood my English, so.
Thank you, Bob. Anything else from the audience? Yes, Todd.
Guy and I completed our evaluation of roads for the year, so I'll be filing that information into the road committee to discuss this year's grant application and next year's projects.
Todd, you laid it out down in that chart that
Same,
where you have year after year, after year, should see the transitions. Okay, thanks.
And I don't mean to put anybody on the spot, but I am going to, Caroline. Could you just remind everybody, the fun event is on June, and I'm sharing this because it's a different day and with the timing. So the event is
June 13th.
June 13th, and the timing.
Saturday,
Yes.
around 8:30 until roughly 10. The run will be going on. And then the event lasts until 12 near the Lutheran Church, so we'll have people there, but the run will be done by 10.
And that's July 13th, right?
Yes, July 13th. The 5K goes around the east side of the lake and back around, but there's a 10K that goes around the full lake. And again, it's really about an hour and a half. We've contacted EMS and someone on my committee has contacted EMS and one police group, so, yes.
yeah, I think they get an email about the date, times and everything. So I sent the guy the email about barricades.
When did you send me that email?
About a month ago.
I might want to check what email you were sending that to, because I did receive it.
Well, Caroline's close by, so you guys can figure it out.
Yeah.
So the timing, it's important for us to understand kind of the
Yes.
timing. So, you know, because I know it's a morning, but it carries on past the race. So thank you very much for
Yes.
sharing.
We'll have more logistics coming up in the next 2 weeks, so we'll get with you guys on more
Excellent.
logistics, but thank you so much.
Anything else from the audience?
There's
Yes.
actually a triathlon that's happening, but you're also July
Same.
27th.
That's right. Thank you. Okay, so hearing no more public comment or general discussion, I have a motion to adjourn.
George, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, George. Do we have a second?
This is Bert, I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, hearing none. Motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to our residents for being here. And Jessica and Tom.